Hello there, this is Icy Tooney here with another TF2 gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be playing as the Scout here on CP Badlands, one of my favorite maps, and I'm going to be using the Shortstop as my primary weapon here and the Critical as my secondary weapon. So a bit of a different setup than I would normally use for my Scout, but it's a lot of fun to use these two weapons in combination because they do complement each other quite well, but I'll be talking about that a little bit later in the video. The first thing I do want to mention is that I apologize for the lack of content that has been going on my channel recently. I've been having some problems with the advanced uploader on YouTube, and that's kind of just delayed my ability to release the videos when I want to. I've actually had like that recent Huntsman video up for about a week before I actually uploaded it, and I've just been having some problems with that, so hopefully all those are solved and I'll be releasing videos more quickly than I have been the last month. But yeah, the one thing I do want to talk about in this video the most, because it will be basically the feature of it, is the Shortstop. I do have two other videos concerning the Shortstop, but I don't think I talk about it quite enough because it is a very interesting weapon, one with some very unique flaws and some really good things about it. First of all, I'll talk about the good things, I guess. The probably most noticeable thing about it is how fast it fires and how fast it reloads. So it has 4 shots per clip, and 4 shots is quite a bit, less than the scattergun, but when you take into account how fast you fire those 4 shots and how quickly you reload, you're able to get off a lot more shots than you would with the fan or the scattergun. So that makes this weapon very good. As I make a medic drop Uber, he wasn't even moving, so he might have been frozen there, which is pretty funny. But you can get off a lot of shots, and even though you're not going to be doing quite as much damage per shot as you would with the scattergun or fan, if you are able to land quite a bit, you might actually be able to do a lot more damage per second, and it's kind of not really a term that is used very much in TF2, and almost for good reason, but I will say it, I will say damage per second because that's kind of a good way to look at it. And another good thing about it is its mid-range capabilities. Kind of does act like a pistol in a way. I guess it is a pistol, what am I saying, even though it's a primary weapon. And that makes it pretty decent to use at mid-range. A lot of the times you're going to be finding you're going to be doing about 30 damage per shot at mid-range. And that's very good actually for how fast you can shoot your clips, I guess. And that just makes it a very viable weapon at mid-range, and that's why I'm actually going to be using this setup a little bit more defensively. And pair that up with the Critical, this becomes even more of a mid-range nuisance for the enemy. And I actually like to use the Critical a little bit more defensively than most people probably would, especially with the Shortstop. A lot of the people I find when they do use the Critical, they're like, oh, I'm invincible now, I can go in and take down a heavy from full health with 2 shots. Sometimes that may be the case, but usually that's not, because you are very vulnerable yourself as a Scout, and because the Critical also makes you take mini crits, that's probably not the best thing to do. A lot of the times I find it's best to just stay back when you have that Critical effect on and just unload clips into your enemy and do damage, and don't worry about getting right into the mix of things, because one of the great things, like I said, is about the Shortstop is its mid-range abilities, and take advantage of that plus the Critical, and that makes it even more powerful. So that's how I'm probably going to be using it most in this video. So yeah, kind of just roaming around the middle point here. I don't think we have taken it out quite yet, but as you can see, I am playing a little bit more defensive. I didn't try to take down that soldier from full health quite yet. One thing I should also mention is I don't have that 25 health bonus, even though I do have like the Milkman equipped, and that's because I don't have the Milk equipped instead of the Critical. So I do have the Critical, and the Shortstop, one of the great things about the Shortstop, I guess I can also say, is that bonus you get when equipping it with the Milk, the Milkman, and the Mackerel. So that 150 health is always useful. Unfortunately, I will not have it, but it's not a necessity, I guess. Don't feel too bad if you don't have those hats. I know Valve made it almost impossible to get those hats in a reasonable amount of time unless you do have money, so don't worry too much about that. As you can see in this video, I will be successful with the Shortstop even though I do have 125 health. So another thing I do want to talk about in this video is kind of my future plans for my channel. I guess not future plans, but some of the videos I do want to release. I've been getting a lot of requests for the for the weapons that I have not showcased yet, and that's very understandable actually. Weapons like the Sticky Launcher, the Home Wrecker, the Southern Hospitality, and even like the Vitasol, even though it's more of a passive weapon, where one that doesn't really attribute too much to just overall gameplay. But just those weapons, I do want to release some footage in the near future on. Those are weapons that will be on the top of my priority list, so I do want you guys to know I've been taking your requests. And also some requests about some of the maps I play on and some of the game types I play on, as I am top fragging like a boss here on the first round here. One of the game modes I have not showcased yet is Arena, and I'm actually surprised because I do play a little bit of Arena. I go in spurts, like some days I'll be like, hey, let's just play an hour or two of Arena for the day, and that'll be it, because it is kind of fun to go into from time to time. I don't play it as often as I would control point maps or payload maps or anything like that, but it is kind of a good distraction and a fun one itself, and also I think going to be a fun one to make a video on, so I'm going to be looking forward to that, so look out for that in the future. I haven't created really any medic videos recently. That's another thing I've been kind of putting off a little bit, but I will get into that. And some maps like 2 Fort, a lot of people want to see me play. What other maps? I don't know, maps like that, ones that I don't play too often, but I guess it would be fun to go back to those. It kind of reminds me of the Xbox days when I first started. I know a lot of people probably first started playing this game just on 2 Fort, and I probably played maybe 10 hours of 2 Fort before I even tried any other map, so it's going to be fun to do that again. And so yeah, those are just some of my plans for future videos. I have been getting a lot of requests also to do full-blown tutorial videos and even frag videos. The tutorial videos, I am terrible at editing, and I don't want to dedicate that much time actually to doing tutorial videos. I love creating these videos because they don't take too much time to make for me. I get to commentate them, which is always fun, and I don't really have to edit. And I won't say it's not a possibility in the future for me to do tutorial videos, but that's something that probably won't be coming out for quite a while. And frag videos, I do find it a little awkward calling them frag videos in pubs. There are a lot of frag videos for competitive play, and those are ones that you should really check out, because there are players that are even a lot better than me, especially like those pro players, those invite players. They usually like to release a lot of frag videos, and those are always a lot of fun to watch. You can get some good clips in there, and yeah, it's just very entertaining, and it always makes you want to play after. Whenever I see a frag video or anything like that, it's like, hey, I want to step in, play a competitive game, and those are always fun. But I haven't really played competitive very often, so frag videos like that for me are not going to be coming out very soon, I guess. My clan actually broke up like a couple months ago, and I've been pondering getting back into competitive play again, but I'm not quite too sure about that. And I know I could be releasing some nice clips, I guess, from pubs. I wouldn't call that a frag video. I don't know. I mean, that might actually be a new series, because one thing I have noticed, like when I was playing around with the Huntsman, is I'd get some crazy Huntsman kills, like some blind air shot, headshots and stuff, but because the round itself wasn't very interesting, I wouldn't upload it. So there are some clips that I might save in the future, and you might see me come out with some like fun plays of the week or something from my own perspective, and that's something that I've been thinking about doing, and that is a real possibility on my channel. But I guess that's enough of my rant of other things. I guess I can get back to the video itself here. I've actually been going at it quite a bit here as the shortstop. I think I've only died once. I don't even know if I've died quite yet. But that just goes to show how successful you can be with being a little bit more defensive and a little bit more careful as the scout. I think they do have like a sentry gun on the last point, so that means I'm not going to be charging onto the point or anything quite yet. Sometimes in situations like these, you do have to rely on your team to take things out like sentry guns. I could try to back cap, but there's no real point in that. So I'm going to just do a nice little blind critical drink, and I'm going to be trying to take down this medic. Damn hit detection, and I think I did like 500 damage to that medic, but anyways, just killed him, which is always nice. And things like that. Another thing you can do with the critical is kind of just blindly around the corner use it. Kind of use it in a more of a disposable manner than a lot of people would usually do it, because it's not a weapon that's great to save up for the perfect time. Sometimes it's just best to drink and see what happens. But there is, that engineer has revenge crits, and that's another situation where I'm going to run away. That's something you do have to look for in any engineer. Whenever they have a sentry up, or if it's a good engineer and he's using the Frontier Justice, always be wary if he has any revenge crits, because those can take you down in one shot no matter what class you're playing. especially if you're playing the scout, but something you do have to look forward to, or look for, and one of the things that makes the engineer even more deadly. But for now, kind of just going to regroup here. Like I said, there's no point in me doing too much too quickly. I do see a nice heavy medic combination, and this is kind of a bit of a bad situation for me. I don't want to take down that medic from too close range. I'm going to be kind of staying back here a little bit, because if that heavy jumps on me, I'm basically dead. But because of the Shortstop's mid-range capabilities, I'm able to take down that medic with not a lot of problem. And because there are a few people on the points, like, hey, let's just take on my Criticola, try to unload some shots on this heavy. And as you can see, I was using the Spire to my advantage there. Great scouts are really able to do this. I'm not as good as at utilizing terrain as I probably should be, but when you see some great scouts, some of the invite level scouts and stuff, it's actually crazy what they can do with just like a little rock, and they can make it really hard for the opponents. But anyways, top ranking like a boss once again on the second round, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Shortstop video, and thanks for watching, you guys.